Hi, and this is Miss Wardell. So we are doing lesson 5. We're going to go through some of the read aloud so that maybe this might help. Okay, so this is 5.2. We're talking about cause and effect relationship, and this is just a quick write. Okay, we're going to do 2 of these together, and then I'm going to let you do 1 by yourself. Okay, and then we'll finish up 2 the read aloud within our reading time. Okay, so I'm going to present this, and then I'm going to let you read it and listen, and then we're going to talk about it and write some, okay?
Lesson 5, read aloud. Approximately 2,000 years later, some groups of native peoples in this region began to develop more sophisticated farming methods that included the use of irrigation, the ability to channel water to crops. Now that it was possible to grow crops more successfully, these native peoples became committed to the areas where their crops grew. As a result, they began to settle in one place. This meant that southwestern native culture began to develop and thrive. Some of these groups of people included the ancestral Pueblo, the Magayan, and the Hohokam.
Okay, so based on the clue words, what happened? What was this cause and effect relationship in this paragraph that we just listened to? Right? So remember, listen to this real quick. Now that it's possible to grow crops more successfully, these native people became committed to the areas where they grew crops. And as a result, they began to settle in one place. So did you hear that word as a result or phrase? As a result. Did you? What that means is this happened, therefore, then this happened, right? So this is our cause and effect relationship. So listen to the first part of this. Now it is possible to grow crops more successfully. So what were they doing? So as they were growing crops, as they grew crops, and we know that they lived off the land, so as they grew crops, and were successful, then they were able to settle in one place. So put a comma. They were able to settle in one place. So think about it. The reason this is a cause and effect is if they were not successful at growing crops, would they be able to settle in one place and create culture um, and be able to create towns and civilizations? No, they would have to keep moving until they were able to really find a place where they could be successful. So if this had not happened, this would not happen. So they depend on each other. Okay? Let's keep listening.
The Magayon inhabited the mountainous area of southwestern New Mexico and the east central Arizona. They diverted streams so that they could water their crops and may even have experimented with ways of storing water. The Hohokam inhabited the desert areas of what is present-day southern Arizona. They built a network of canals, channeled waters to their fields, This type of early engineering helped these people overcome the challenges presented by their environment.
Okay, so using clue words, describe the cause and effect relationship in paragraph 5. So here, in what you just listened to, it's really talking about the ancestral Pueblos throughout this region, that many lived in dry valleys near small rivers and waterways, and they struggled with the challenges of living in drier areas. So moved into raised plateaus and mesas in order to irrigate their fields and water their crops. So what happened here? Where did they live in the beginning? So the clue word that I listened to was the word then. Okay? So because they lived in dry areas, right? So they lived in drier areas and struggled. They struggled because here it was very scarce. They had scarce water. So because of that, so because they lived in these dry areas that where they struggled, then what they did was they decided to move, right? So they lived in dry areas and struggled. So they moved to a place where they could get water, right? Oops. So they could get water. That's it. That's all it is they moved from one place where it was dry to a place where they could get water. All right, guys, I'm gonna help. We've done 1 and 2. I want you to be able to do number 3, and we'll talk about it more in the meet. Okay. We're also going to do page. I can turn to page 5.3 with our chapter. Okay. So we're also going to be doing this with our chapter. We're going to again look at those who, what, where, why, and how questions, okay, when we read chapter 3. When we read chapter 3. So this is going to go with chapter 3. And we'll talk more about that when we get in our meet. All right, bye guys.